everyone, I'm Rebecca and welcome back to my channel. We have a special guest here today, my mom.
Yay, hi.
This is April and my mom is going to be helping me today with a little just fun game that I thought might be kind of cool to have her here for because she's not a costumer.
Nope.
You pretty much only know costuming through me, right?
Right.
And maybe through some like BBC movies.
Yes.
Yeah. So what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be tier ranking historical fashion eras. Basically just in terms of aesthetics. So how much we like them, how much we think that they are pretty, maybe how much we think they're wearable.
And I do have a few costumes that Rebecca has made me. So I've gotten to wear Victorian and Edwardian.
And now Regency.
And Regency now, yes. So. Yeah.
So I think that this is going to be a fun little thing. We are going to go through a whole bunch of different eras and also some kind of niche things. And I will be showing you pictures as we go and we are going to be ranking them. So let's talk about the tiers that we are going to be putting these costumes in. We also have our tiers and our examples. You will be seeing them on screen. We have them right down in front of us. So if we're looking down, we are either looking at that or we are looking at Cookie, my dog, who is also right in front of us. So we have 5 tiers that we are going to be sorting everything into today, starting with the top tier, which is flawless, my dear. So these are costumes which basically we have no notes. They're perfect. I'd wear them for sure. I know you might be reluctant about costume eras, but these are ones that I think are just absolutely stunning and maybe on the more practical side, maybe not, but definitely ones that I'd want to wear. And maybe ones you'd want to look at?
Yeah.
Okay. Our next top tier is the cat's pajamas. Now, I didn't know that some people didn't know this phrase. She didn't know this phrase. And this term, the cat's pajamas, actually comes from E.B. Katz, who was a tailor in the late 1700s and early 1800s, and he made the finest silk pajamas. So I thought it was quite fitting for our ranking category today. Now, next under that is our mid category, and we're calling that I'd visit once. Might try it. I don't know that I love it, but you know, I might try it. We'll see how it goes. Our second to bottom category is not my cup of tea. So these aren't the worst, but they are definitely not the best. And they are going to get ranked second to bottom, but not quite bottom because the bottom category is better left in the past. These are silhouettes, outfits, styles, etc. that we just don't understand.
Right.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get started. So we are going to be starting off in the 1770s with this lovely robe à la française.
Not my cup of tea.
Really?
Not
right
my
away?
Cup of tea. No.
You say that right away? What don't you like about it?
It is so ornate, so over embellished. Not to mention it is so big. How do you get through a door? Not my cup of tea.
I will give you that. I do think that these are quite impractical. And of course, we're looking at high fashion here. We are not looking at what the average person wore in the 1770s. And frankly, that's going to be true of everything that I'm showing you in this video pretty much because almost all of these are fashion plates, which if you've missed any of my deep dive videos, fashion plates are basically like the Vogue magazine published highest fashion. This is what people will be wearing but aren't wearing yet because they've just invented these designs. So
I think if I had this on, I would laugh at myself the entire time I had it on.
I disagree with this being not my cup of tea. However, I agree that this isn't something that I would want to wear all the time. I haven't actually even ever made a robe à la française. I've made a lot of other fashions from this era, but not a robe à la française. I have made a court gown though, which is basically on this level of crazy, but...
Can you imagine trying to whisper to a friend when your friend is 5 feet away? I mean,
I think you would probably whisper front to front instead of side to side.
Doesn't work.
But it's true. This is really not something practical. I would argue that this is I'd visit once, not necessarily not my cup of tea, because this is definitely something that I'm willing to try.
Okay, I'm willing to try it once, but I would not stop laughing.
But who knows, you could love it. It could be amazing. A lot of you, I'm sure, have already made robe a la Francaise, whether they are this embellished or not, you know, that was up to you and your design. This is a little bit more embellished even than my court gown. And frankly, harder than the outfit, let's be honest here, is the hair.
Oh my God, yeah.
The hair is really what makes this something like, I'd visit this once for a short amount of time because frankly, I'd get a headache with that much hair and headdress, etc. piled up on top of my head.
I'm 6 feet. You're 5'10".
Oh, we'd be ducking like crazy.
How do you get through a door?
Yeah, you don't. They had high doorways then. This is like a drag race entrance where all of the queens have to duck. So let's go ahead and put this into I'd Visit Once. Does that sound good with you?
Okay.
Okay, so this is I'd Visit Once. Let's move on to the 1780s. So the 1780s, we have lost our giant side paniers, those side hoops, and we have moved into a much more rounded silhouette and rounded hair to go with it as well. And frankly, rounded everywhere. We've got this big sort of powder pigeon look in the front. What do you think of the 1780s?
I like this.
Yeah?
Yeah, I could see me wearing this a lot. I liked it. After the last one, it seems much more casual. but
There's definitely a softness to
yes,
this
it's
look.
softer. It's got a really good line to it.
Yeah.
So I totally like it. It's not overly embellished. It just looks like, I know you're still wearing stays or whatever. You know what
Of course,
exactly
yes,
what
you
it's
are
called.
still wearing stays.
But it just looks much more comfortable.
Yeah, you would still be wearing stays, probably at least 2 petticoats under this as well.
That'll keep you warm.
And that larger bum pad, like a big petal-shaped bum pad to really make those skirts stick out. We do still have big-ish hair, but it's very fluffy and rounded.
Mine would never be that
You'd be wearing a wig or
Wig.
something. We all would, let's face it. No one has hair like this.
Yeah.
Like, we would be wearing wigs in this era as well, or at least hair pieces to go along. Yeah, but I do think that this is quite nice. I'm torn personally between like a high I'd Visit Once versus the cat's pajamas.
I'm totally thinking it's the cat's pajamas.
You think it's
for
cat's
me.
pajamas?
Yeah. I think
You know
cat's
what's funny
pajamas.
too? I know that I've shown you guys a plate here that is not super relaxed. This is still like fashion, but 1780s was also really marked by the chemise a la reine, which in a way kind of is pajamas.
Yeah. This totally for me is the cat's pajamas.
Cat's pajamas?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and put this in the cat's pajamas. So the 1790s. What do you think about the 1790s?
Gotta lose those feathers right away. I mean, all those feathers are like, what?
Talk about not fitting through a doorway, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. Actually, yeah, I think this is nice. I don't know how comfortable you could be when your ladies are so shoved up.
So these are not nearly as like shoved up as we're actually going to be seeing soon. Yeah. The 1790s was a transitional era, and so your boobs are high, but it's mostly they look high because the waistlines are so high, and they're really quite voluminous in the skirts as well. So we're getting this kind of weird juxtaposition that doesn't quite mesh together.
But I like the style if it wasn't in light colors, which I don't know. All 3 ladies
This
are wearing
era
light
is
colors.
an era of light colors. Yeah. Personally, it's not my cup of tea.
I'd wear it once.
You would?
I would. And I would lose those feathers. Those feathers would.
1790s loved their feathers.
Oh dear.
Frankly, the 1790s almost required feathers, and technically, and we're going to see this in a moment in our next slide, but for court dress, it literally was a requirement. You had to wear, for court, it was white feathers. These ladies obviously are bringing a little bit more color into their feathers.
Well, I would try it once because I know the colors would not look good on me, and the feathers would be, no. But
also, keep in mind in this era, you have to mind your train because the 1790s all had trains, basically.
Okay. But I would try it once.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put it into I'd Visit Once. Frankly, if this were me, just alone, this would be going in not my cup of tea. But speaking of not my cup of tea, we have the English Regency court gown.
No.
So, if you've seen any of my videos on the English Regency court gowns, you will know that they were kind of a really crazy niche style that was literally required in the English Regency court of Queen Charlotte. If you haven't seen those videos, I will link a few videos down below in the description. First off, I've got a deep dive video into English Regency court gowns, and then secondly, I made one last year because I was crazy. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it ever again, but I did wear it to costume college last year, so I will link that project down below as well. Where would you rank this one?
Gee, better left in the past.
I have to agree. And honestly, they had to agree as well. There are 0 extant English Regency court gowns that still exist. I don't know what all happened to them. They were probably remade because they had a lot of fabric in them.
And that's what you should do with yours.
Probably. But yeah, there are none left. So they really were better left in the past. That too, I guess.
Yeah.
So now we have moved into the 18-aughts. This is a somewhat similar silhouette to the last one, but as you can see, it's a lot more slim. Well, yes, to the last one as meaning the last decade. Oh. Because actually the English Regency court gown was existing at the same time as this. Yeah, crazy, right? This is what they were wearing when they weren't in court. Very, very slim. This was very like Grecian inspired. Not much decoration on these at all. And the silhouette was really just columnar.
Having just worn one, because when I came up here, Rebecca took me to a Regency picnic. So I have to say it was pretty comfortable. Yeah, I could see me wearing it again.
Okay. Would you say I'd visit once for that?
No,
or the cat's pajamas?
I think the cat's pajamas.
Really?
It was comfortable. We walked around the park in it. And this was one that she had made for herself, but because they're
technically it was actually my 1790s dress. But yes.
Well, whatever. And I wore a push-up bra because I don't do corsets. But no, it was comfortable and we could move around easily. So on so many of them on TV, because I love Jane Austen, look really tight around the bottoms, but it was fine. It was
really, you're never gonna have them be like tight, hard to move around the bottom. That's just not something that existed except in, you know, Keira Knightley's world.
But it was nice. I could definitely see me wearing it again.
See, for me personally, Regency, this era specifically Regency, is actually not my cup of tea. I think that it's honestly quite plain and boring. So I'm not sure where we're going here, that we are so separated. We might have to meet in the middle.
The big thing that I would like to see not because it's historical, it's never going to happen. I would have liked to see more interesting material. Because the material is boring. It's too light, and again, I don't like light.
You might like our next decade foreshadowing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But before we get to our next decade, since we are still here in the 1800s, this is a plate from 1808, by the way. What do you think? We're divided. We're quite divided. We are 2 categories apart. Should we meet in the middle with I'd just visit once?
You go your way, and I'll go mine.
We can't split this into 2 categories.
Okay, well, we meet in the middle.
Okay, we'll put this into I'd visit once. And obviously, you will need to do more Regency events again in the future.
Okay. That means you're going to wear it more than once.
Yes, true. Okay. But since you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
So, since you wanted slightly more interesting fabrics, let's move on to the 1820s. Now, obviously, I have a dress here that is just green, solid green. They came in lots and lots of different colors, but as you can see, we have a lot more embellishment going on in this 1820s look, and we're starting to get a wider skirt hem as well around the bottom. You can really see the visual shift of how this decade lands between the 18aughts and the 1830s. There really wasn't much change from the aughts to the teens, which is why I didn't show you the teens, but we have skipped here to the 1820s. Specifically, this is 1823.
I really like all the embellishments because I love embellishments. Not over the top though, but I like them all. The one thing I don't like about this dress is the tight sleeves. They didn't have any stretchy material back there, and back then it doesn't look comfortable.
So the thing about tight sleeves, whenever you see like a sleeve that looks really, really tight in historical, because you're right, they're out of woven fabric, they're not out of stretch fabric. However, they were cut on the bias. So the natural stretch that exists in bias, yes, would allow them to move. So even though they look skin tight, you still have that movement. And yeah, frankly, I really like this era. I think that of all of the Regency, it's by far my favorite.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like this the best too.
Yeah. I really like how they balanced well in the 1820s because you have the embellishments on the skirt. You tend to have a more embellishment in the upper sleeve as well.
Yeah. I like this better too.
Yeah.
This one is definitely the cat's pajamas for me.
I would agree, actually.
Yeah.
Cat's pajamas
Okay.
for me as
Good.
well, so that's
Right.
perfect. Now let's see how you feel about the next era.
Uh-oh. What is going on with those sleeves? Oh my gosh.
What do you think about the 1830s, Mom?
What is going on with those sleeves? That's over the top. Do they have things inside the sleeves?
Yes, yeah. So in the 1830s,
A cat, a dog.
no, not a cat or a dog, but you would have a sleeve puff. So it's basically like filled with down, and it would be a little pillow that you wear around your arm to keep those sleeves up. I personally love this era. If you've seen this channel before, you probably know that already. I mean, you should probably also know that I love
yes,
this era.
But I don't. The dress, the bodice, the skirt, fine. But the sleeves, and
what
also
do you think
that
about
they're
the
low,
hair?
they're lower, so how do you get your arms
So
up?
they are lower, you're right. That is something that happened in the 1830s. We start to see it creep a little bit in the 20s, but really by the 30s, we have a much lower
how do you
like
lift your
seam
arm?
line. Frankly, because there is so much room in the sleeve, you're not inhibited like you are in some other future eras that we're gonna see. So it's really not that bad. Like you do still have a lot of motion that you have in the 30s. What do you think about the hair though?
I have to go back to the sleeves for a minute because as someone of a certain age, I have enough arm. This would hide it.
It would hide it. and it's ever so much more. Yeah, honestly, I love this era. I'm biased because I love this era. I don't necessarily think that we are going to land in Flawless, my dear, because it's true.
No,
the 1830s is silly. I don't know that I could put it in Flawless. For me, it's a very high cat's pajamas.
And I'm trying to see the hats, the hair. The hats are kind of okay.
So
but
in
the
this
hair
plate,
is a
we
bit-
actually get a little bit of a zoom in on this ball headdress. But if you look closely at like this one right here, so I know that their caps are covering a lot of their hairstyle for the day wear. And of course, we also get this great close up of a bonnet example. But hair was crazy in the 1830s because
I know, because I've seen you in some of your crazy hair things.
they had
and-
loops, they had curls,
Yeah.
they had everything going all over the place. It was very, very creative. And all of
That's
this...
a good word for it. Creative.
It's very creative, yeah. And honestly, it's so cupcake. That's to me, like, the 1830s was an era of cupcakes. Everyone just looked like walking cupcakes with various frosting, you know, decorations on top. So, where would you put it?
I'd try it once.
You'd only try it once?
I would only try it once.
Well, since
This
I
is your favorite era?
It's one of, I wouldn't say it's my number one favorite. It is one of my favorites for sure. Since I would otherwise say Flawless, my dear, why don't we put it into Cat's Pajamas as a compromise?
Okay.
I think that you will find, and probably some of you have found if you've done the 1830s before, 1830s is an era that if you've never done it, you look at it and you think, that's stupid. That is just silly. Why were they looking like that? I don't understand it. But once you have done it, you get it. Like 1830s, honestly, here's a thing that you're gonna appreciate. 1830s was for women. Like, no male gaze is gonna look at this and think like, wow, those girls are hot. No, this was for women to look like their most splendid cupcakeness and not care one whit about what men thought they looked like. This was for women. And it's comfy. It's actually very comfy. And you have shorter skirts, no tripping on your skirts.
I like the dress. I like the dress. That's what I said. I like the bodice, the skirt part. I really like those. It's just the sleeves and the hair.
But you have a built-in pillow whenever you feel tired. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the 1830s in the cat's pajamas as a compromise.
Yeah.
So, there were other styles, though, that we are going to see along the way. And one of them that I have for you is, remaining in the 1830s, we are going to look at an 1830s riding habit. Now, with this riding habit, we obviously lose a lot of the over-embellishment that we had in the standard fashion, because this is very inspired by menswear of the time. Yeah, exactly. It's very masculine. What do you think about this look?
Again, the bodice and the skirt are fine. I don't even mind the top hat. I think that's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's really comes down to the voluminous sleeves.
And you don't think that would be fun, riding along on your horse with your voluminous sleeves?
Blowing in the breezes.
Probably.
Yeah, no.
No?
No.
I love the tailored look of this. And did you notice that she's wearing little stirrup pants?
No. Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah,
no,
she's wearing little stirrup pants under there with her cute little flat boots. And yeah, I think she looks really smashing. I don't rank this as highly as my standard 1830s fashion because you know I love the over the top and this is not nearly as over the top. But as far as riding habits go, like the all eras of riding habits, this is one of my favorite looks of riding habits.
But you couldn't wear this look if you weren't riding?
Not unless you're Gentleman Jack.
Okay.
Yeah, but as you can, I mean, you've seen Gentleman Jack, right? This is a very Gentleman Jack look.
Yeah,
yeah,
it is.
Yeah, they did a great job with the costuming on that show. And I love this. I mean, especially like when you look at the little like peplum in the back, the little buttons, I think it's so flattering.
Yeah, I like that too.
That tiny little nipped in waist, the big lapels. I think it's really
yeah, I like that all.
Nicely tailored. It's just the sleeves.
Yeah.
Well, personally, I would again put this in at least the cat's pajamas.
All right, I'll compromise again on that.
Okay, cat's pajamas. Let's go ahead and move on to the 1840s. What do you think about the 1840s?
I love this look.
Do you
actually.
really?
I do.
You do? Oh my gosh, I did not think you were going to like this.
With the exception of the fact that, again, the sleeves look like they're very low and they can't get their arms up. That
and in this era, that is true.
Okay, that I would not tolerate.
Yeah.
That makes a woman not be able to do what she has to do.
Now, see, we were talking a little bit about the male gaze, right? And how the 1830s was so much not for the male gaze. I think the 1840s was entirely about the male gaze.
Okay.
Yeah, which, like, I hate that. To me, 1840s, when I look at it, I see oppression.
I do. I do. And when I think about it that way, I agree with you. I just really like the look of the skirt. I mean, I just...
Like the fullness?
The fullness of the skirt. I really like that.
But keep in mind, that's all petticoats. She's probably wearing 4 petticoats under that
And
skirt.
during the winter, that would be great, but you would never get me doing that in the summer.
It wouldn't even be that great during the winter. What if they get wet?
Oh.
You know, then you're working with
this is why
sodden
women
hems.
drown.
Because we have longer hems now than we had in the 1830s. So this is very much, to me, about, like... It's oppressive, to be honest, 1840s. This is one of the reasons why I'm trying to think. I've done one 1840s outfit, and that's all I've done in all of the years I've been costuming. I don't like the drop shoulder where it does feel very, like, tight in there. I just find... Yeah, the 1840s is not my jam. It's very droopy, like hair-wise as well.
Well, when you explain it that way, I can totally see that.
Personally, I would say at least not my cup of tea, if not better left in the past.
Well, I don't like the drop shoulders, so that part is totally better left in the past because I would never want to lose myself like these women had to lose themselves.
Yeah.
So,
So what do you think? Better left in the past? Okay, better left in the past.
Although
for
I do
the
like
1840s.
the skirt look.
Yeah, but let's move on to some even more fun skirts.
Okay.
With the 1850s. What do you think about these skirts?
A lot of embellishment. That's got drop sleeves too, so it's kind of the same.
Kind of, but in the 1850s, the way that they were made was different. So in the 1840s, you will have seen that it was really fairly fitted all the way through. And yes, we do have the bias cut, but between the really like more encased shoulder there, and then you have some embellishment here, and then you have a tighter, slimmer sleeve. This, once you get past here, your sleeve is open. You know, you really don't have the tight feeling that you do, like you don't have that in the 1850s and you do in the 1840s. I personally feel like 1850s is a little bit of that reclaiming of cupcake. So this plate is from 1855, and one thing that we have to think about is that this plate may actually predate the invention of crinolines. So it is possible, and by that I mean cage crinolines, hoop skirts. It is possible that what we are looking at right here is supported solely by petticoats.
Wow, that's so heavy.
Yeah. Now the following year we would have seen them over crinolines, and therefore they do get even bigger.
So one thing that is really quite obvious in this is that it seems like the women are setting themselves off into the upper class. They don't want to be confused with middle class or working class. I mean, they're really
keep in
over
mind
the top.
we have been looking at fashion plates this entire time, so all of this has been for the upper class.
But this is now so embellished.
Yes, we are definitely getting into a divide here,
Yeah.
and we were even in the 1840s and 30s, but a real divide between what the upper class can wear versus what middle class or lower class can wear. Obviously, lower class women were not going to be wearing ruffled skirts like this.
But even the middle class, I feel like would be struggling to keep up with the embellishments here.
Yeah, and I think that our blue dress here is a lot more practical of what you might see someone in the middle class wearing. Again, the like super tiered ruffled skirts, that's going to be something really more reserved for upper class. Or possibly you might see it out of cheaper fabrics.
Yeah, but
this
with
is
all those,
silk, presumably,
all
and
those
all
ruffles.
the trimming and everything on this. This is very much a high class outfit. But for me, I do really like the 1850s. I think that if we would base it on pre-hoop, for me, not my cup of tea. Post-hoop, I'd say the cat's pajamas.
I could see that because the weight, pre-hoop, the weight would just
There's just no way.
Yeah, I mean, it really restricts the movement of what 100%. This woman would do, But post-hoops, it would be nice.
Yeah, so where do we want to put this one? Do we want to... I mean, it's hard because I picked an 1855 plate. So the 1856 plates, they look very, very much like this. And I probably should have gone for one knowing that would be over a cage crinoline. For me personally, thinking about this being over a cage crinoline, I would say the cat's pajamas.
Yeah, over a cage crinoline. But I'm still... the sleeves,
Should we put this in I'd Visit Once?
Yeah, I think I'd visit once.
Okay, I'd Visit Once. Before we leave the 1850s, I have one other look that I want to share with you, which is...
I love this! I love this! Bloomers!
This is Amelia Bloomer. This is actually a painting of Amelia Bloomer. This is the 1850s. I don't know exactly when this was painted, but this is a very alternative fashion.
My type of fashion. Oh,
because this was a version of reform dress, the Bloomer costume. So you can see that she's wearing really, really loose fitting pants and a much shorter skirt, but the top looks pretty much like how any other women would be dressed. She's still wearing a corset, etc. But obviously the bottom half is a lot looser and freer.
This would give her. Yes, I really like this.
I mean, personally, it's not my cup of tea because I love the big skirts. But, I mean, what would you put this in?
Ooh, the cat's pajamas for sure.
Cat's pajamas?
Oh, yeah.
See, maybe we have to compromise again on this. I know we're putting a lot in this category, but we might have to compromise again on this and put it in I'd Visit Once. Because I would totally be willing to try this. I just don't think it'd be very flattering.
It'd be so liberating and comfortable. Who are you trying to flatter? The men? Try thinking about your own personal comfort.
It's true. But, I mean, I don't wear pants on a regular basis anyway because I don't think they're flattering or comfortable. So why would this be comfortable?
And I always do because I think they are.
So why don't we compromise on this and...
say the cat's pajamas? Yes!
That was not the compromise. That was your voice. So why don't we compromise on this and say I'd visit once.
Or twice. Or 3 times.
Or once. I mean, heck, again, if I love it, I'd visit more than once. Should we compromise?
Oh, all right.
Okay, we've compromised. We're compromising for the sake of this video. But maybe you should make yourself a Bloomer costume.
Maybe you should make me a Bloomer costume.
Maybe you should learn how to sew. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the 1860s. We are actually looking at later in the 60s here. This is an example of an 1867 elliptical silhouette. You can see where it's really like going way far out at the hem, but it's not really round like you would associate with a really round hoop skirt of the later 1850s or the early 1860s. Personally, for me, by 1867, we've gotten a little bit too elliptical, and this isn't my favorite. But what do you think about this?
No, I think it's okay.
Okay then?
It's okay, yeah.
So is this like a I visit once, or is this like...
Yeah, well, I would like to visit once. I'd like to put it on to see how it feels compared to, the larger hoop.
Sure.
But I kind of like the silhouette. Yeah, I think I would visit it once.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can go ahead and put this in I'd visit once. That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
So while we are on the topic of the 1860s, though, let's take a look at some bathing suits. These are bathing suits.
I thought they were more bloomers.
No, they do actually look a little bit similar to bloomer costumes, but this is a plate of bathing suits from 1864.
And this is why women could only wade and not swim, because they would drown in these things.
It's true. This really was an era more of wading than swimming. But frankly, the Victorian bathing suits that you see in like the 1890s, we lose a lot of the sleeve by that era, and the pants have shortened a little bit, but it's not significantly less fabric, and they were actually swimming at that point.
And they were wearing wool.
They were wearing wool, of course. Yeah, these are all wool.
All wool.
Yeah. Wool dries much quicker than cotton. Right. So it's much more practical.
I have to say I like the coat.
The blue one?
The blue coat, yeah, but
I personally love the white one. That one's my favorite. I like her little sort of zigzag trim.
Well, I like the blue one as a coat, not as a bathing suit.
What's interesting, since you mentioned that, is that it is basically, it looks the same as you would see of a coat of the era.
I can't imagine wearing that to the beach. I'm with you though. The white one I think is the best. The pink ones look like pajamas, but then again, I'm seeing it from my point of view. But for a bathing outfit, I go with the white one.
Yeah. Do you think though, is this like not my cup of tea, or is this something that was honestly better left in the past?
Better left in the past.
I guess I have to agree with you for this one. This era, it's not practical. So I think probably as cute as they are, better left in the past. So let's move on to one of my favorite decades, so I'm going to be a little bit biased here, the 1870s. This is a plate from 1874. What do you think about this one?
I like this.
You like this?
Yeah.
I love it.
It's happy. It's very happy.
It's so frou-frou.
Yeah.
And it's so like voluminous and just... Yeah, this makes me very happy as well.
At the same time, it looks like you can move freely in it. The sleeves are up here.
It does have a train, so it's not maybe the most free movement, but beyond that, yeah, you're right. The sleeves have moved back up the shoulder, so you get a lot more movement in your arms.
And I like the idea of the different colors that they have. They can, they're not white, they've got...
It's a very colorful
personality to them.
Yeah, a little bit before this, I think it was in the 1860s, was when aniline dyes came into play. So we start to get a lot more colors and a lot brighter colors. So you see that in the 1870s a lot as well.
Yeah. I also like the bonnets.
The hats are very cute. Yeah, they've kind of switched more towards hats as opposed to bonnets in this era. A little bit more.
Bonnets are more...
Bonnets are a little bit more, enclosed. Yeah. You do see some, like, perching... maybe that would be called bonnets in this era, but yeah, it's definitely a lot of hats. Yes. The hair is a lot more elaborate and swooped up than we saw before too. I love this era personally. I mean, the trains, like, you do have to kind of accommodate those, but frankly, I think this is a pretty flawless era.
Were the trains down during the day as well as...
Yeah, these are day dresses that we're looking at right here. These are both day dresses. So that's what you would be walking around with during the day. During the evening, you would lose the sleeve. You'd have either a very short sleeve or you'd have almost no sleeve at all. And obviously,
I love your outfits when you switch bodices from day bodice
when you have two bodices for one. Yeah, that was something that happened a lot during this era, and it's a pretty cool feature.
Yeah, I like all of yours that you've done that way. But I think these are really pretty. They're like birthday cakes.
They are, yeah. So do we finally have a flawless?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We have our first flawless.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
I could tweak it without the train, I guess, a little bit. But yeah, I'll go with flawless for this.
We'll see that a little bit more later.
Okay,
if you guys have seen my deep dives, you'll know the evolution of trains. If you haven't seen the bustle deep dives, the 1870s and the 1880s deep dives, I will link those down below so that you can check them out after you've done watching this video. So 1870s, we've
got a flawless.
We've got a flawless, but we're not fully done with the 1870s because we lose the giant bustle in the 1870s and we get an entire other silhouette. So let's talk about the natural form.
I really like the natural form.
So this is 1879.
Yeah, I really like the natural form.
You really like the natural form? Especially, honestly, that like turquoisey green one.
God,
I think that's beautiful.
So yeah,
it's like a mermaid dress in a way.
I know it's not natural. When you first were talking to me about natural forms, I expected natural, and these aren't really. But,
right. We do still have a little bit of padding in the natural form, and we do have a petticoat that really helps to kind of support that train. Some of these natural form dresses, including this plate, could have even had a weird structure that would have looked like this underneath to help hold it out. So kind of I know, she's not seeing this. You're seeing this. It's basically like almost like a half hoop bustle that doesn't have a bustle in the rear.
I know what you're talking about.
You've seen my deep dive video.
Okay.
Yeah. And that could have helped support the really elaborate trains, because talk about trains. We have really huge trains in this first part of the natural form era.
And the only thing I don't get is how did they walk around outside without getting it filthy?
So they had what's called a balius. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that entirely correctly, but a balius underneath, which is basically dust ruffles. And those dust ruffles would have been built into both the skirt and the petticoat. Petticoats were just tossed in the wash. Your servants would have washed them. And so with the balius, so that's how they didn't get as dirty. Also right now, the green one we are looking at, that is an evening dress. So the brown is most likely a dinner dress because we have a sheer sleeve. And so a sheer sleeve, a 3/4 sleeve, that usually indicates a dinner dress. So really these ones, they weren't worn outside, but the trains did still exist for this era outside as well.
Well, so, I think this is really pretty. So we have to put this in a slot.
We do. What do you think ranking-wise for this?
Oh, wow.
Is this another flawless or is this a cat's pajamas?
Oh, it's one of those.
It's one of those. I know, that's a hard choice. Honestly, I have that hard decision with this as well for this era. For me, this particular era, like 1879 here,
that's really pretty.
Yeah, it might be flawless.
Yeah, like, it might be flawless.
Yeah, the other parts of the natural form, really like the 1880s, early 80s, that I wouldn't put into flawless, but this particular 1879 look.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Do we put it into flawless again? Okay, two flawlesses in a row.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, wow. So what do we think then of the 1880s?
I really like it, but I don't like the form as much as the last two.
Okay. What is it that you don't like as much, out of curiosity?
Well, I know they make the bottom, the hips really wide or the butt really wide.
It's
so
really the butt in this era. Yeah, not
smaller.
The hips.
But
it's too shelf-like for you?
Too shelf-like, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I get that.
And is this the Gilded Age?
So yes, this is the era that the Gilded Age takes place, though specifically this plate we're looking at is 1886. So we're 2 years ahead of the Gilded Age.
The last episode of the Gilded Age, I was thinking you could put a tray on the back of that bustle.
See, most of the ones in the show are too small.
Oh, there was one that Mary was wearing.
Oh, okay.
And it was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I like this. I mean, I would think this is, for me, the cat's pajamas, but it is not flawless.
I'd go with that.
I
really love the way that the 1880s incorporated the asymmetry. They incorporated lots of different fabrics, and we're playing with a lot of different fabrics and with different textures. And so like this one in particular, where we have kind of our plaid, we have the other one with the stripes, multiple colors on each one. I think that's very pretty.
And this feeds into my art form because I love the asymmetry. I love the textures. I love the multiple colors. I'm a mosaic artist. So I really like putting all those things together. And that's why I think it appeals to me. Also, the skirt is a little shorter,
It is.
Which I like.
No trains. Did you notice?
Right, yes,
no
I did
trains.
notice that.
Yeah, so we're a little bit more functional here.
Yes, yeah, I like that.
Though we do here in the 1880s, we tend to have higher necklines than we had in the 1870s. So that's one thing to keep in mind as far as comfort. I personally find that less comfortable.
Yes, I do too. That would be the thing that
And the other thing about the 1880s that I do not like are the derpy curly bangs.
Oh.
They're silly to me. They're just too, yeah. So I would agree. I think this is cat's pajamas, not flawless.
Yes, right. I think the only thing that really bothers me is the high neckline.
Yeah.
Because I think, the little cute hats and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, the hats are great.
My hair again, but I don't know what I'd be ever doing.
You'd be wearing hairpieces. They wore hairpieces too. This was not their natural hair. They wore hairpieces. So all through a lot of historical eras, women were wearing hairpieces. Kind of just like a lot of women do today with extensions. It was not all natural. So let's move on to 1890s bicycle outfits. This is from 1894.
Oh my.
What do you think of going for a bike ride in 1894?
I'd be embarrassed to walk out of the house wearing that.
I think it's adorable.
God, the sleeves are as wide as the skirts.
Wider, honestly. But again, this is bicycle outfits, so frankly, those are probably bifurcated.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
Because a lot of what we see in bicycle outfits in the 1890s are split skirts that basically are pants that look like skirts. And a lot of them, they would have like a panel that you could move over depending on if you were on the bike or off the bike.
I remember wearing those when I was younger.
There you go.
Culotte skirts that show,
Yeah.
Like,
I think these are very silly.
they are very
They're not
silly.
my favorite.
No.
I would say probably not my cup of tea.
I would go with not my cup of tea.
I love the
too.
giant sleeves, personally. I know you don't.
No.
I think they're adorable. Honestly, I would visit once, though, so I'm torn between not my cup of tea and
For
I'd
me,
visit
it's not
once.
my cup of tea.
Okay, we'll put it in not my cup of tea, but a high not my cup of tea.
Okay, fine.
So let's move on to the normal 1890s then. We have here 1895.
Pigeon friends.
No, actually, this is not the powder pigeon look. We will get to that. Yes, we're very ruffly here, and I feel like the green sleeves are almost like, and you're going to hate this because you won't get it out of your head. I was going to say brain.
Oh, I would think cabbage, especially
I can see cabbage. Yeah, cabbage or lettuce. Honestly, I think it's adorable. I think it's so cute. It's not flawless, but it's cute. It's silly. It's such a hearkening to the 1830s. But in its
Which
own
I don't like
style.
particularly. So yeah, no, yeah.
Well, if you put this in a ranking, where would you put it? Because you have to.
It's not my cup of tea.
Not at all?
No. I hate those sleeves. I mean, for one, I hate the sleeves. And I have enough up front. I don't need anything extra.
Well, the lady in the green doesn't have anything extra.
She has lots of doodadding.
She's just got some shirring.
Shirring. Sure, it's shirring. No. Okay, I could compromise on I'd visit once, but...
Okay, I'll let you put it there, because for me, this would be cat's pajamas. So we could go with I'd visit once, because I think it's cute. And this is a very like frilly version of the 1890s. We do actually see a lot of tailoring in the 1890s as well, even at the same era. Does still incorporate the giant sleeves, but it's a lot more like the bicycle outfit, but with long skirts. So that's the other kind of trend that we see in the 1890s, is that very tailored sporty look. But we also do see the frilly cupcake look as well. So, but I guess we'll put this into I'd visit once, since that's our compromise.
Good.
Moving on to 1907.
I like 1907.
Yeah,
I really
were just complaining about you having enough.
I don't like
here.
the pigeon front, but
this is pigeon front.
But look at the V-neck ones. They aren't pigeon front.
No, she's not having a V-neck. Neither of these. I don't know if you can tell from the picture. She has lace filled in, very high collar.
But the line of it, the
line is very
where your
pretty.
eyes caught is the V, and then yes, it's filled in, but it's not very full up there, which I like.
And this is also the look of it being full here, and then having that little waist and having the padding on the butt. You've got that S-bend silhouette.
Right.
Yeah.
I think this is very nice. This is something that I would like to try at some
You
point.
should.
Yeah, I mean, well, you have to make it.
You have actually, your outfit that you
My
have
Edwardian?
is really not far off of this at all. It's just that you don't wear it with the proper undergarments.
Oh, yes, okay.
The proper undergarments in this era. I mean, in all
I don't have
eras.
a bum pad. I have my own natural
You also
built-in
don't have an
bum pad.
S-bend corset. You have an off-the-rack corset.
Okay, yes.
But an S-bend corset with the proper padding is what gives this silhouette.
Yes.
So this is all about faking it. Like this era almost more than any other era, because they were padding on the top and on the bottom. It's like they made this up.
But I like this. I would definitely, this to me is pretty flawless. I like it.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I would put this into Kat's pajamas, not flawless.
Okay, I'll compromise with Kat's pajamas, but I really like it. I also like those big brimmed hats and
the
stuff.
hats are...
You look great when you wear... Oh my
amazing
goodness.
in this era.
She has an Edwardian outfit that and with the hat, every time she puts it on, it's like, wow.
I'll put a picture of it right up here.
Okay, right up there, good.
Yeah, I love this era. And to be honest, it might just be this plate in particular that I am not quite as much of a fan of. I do think it's a very pretty era, but to be honest, I find it to be not the most flattering. So for me, it's definitely more of a Kat's pajamas than a flawless, my dear.
Okay, I'll compromise on Kat's pajamas, but for me, I really like it.
Okay, sounds good. So we have moved only 5 years ahead here to 1912, but wow, what a different silhouette, right?
Very different.
Very different. Now, this is probably most well known by Titanic, of course, being in 1912.
What do you do if you have hips?
That is kind of the question. Yeah, this was a very straight and columnar era. Now, the corsets of this era, they were underbust corsets and they went fully over your hips.
And I have tried on one of those with you, and it was very uncomfortable.
They are a little bit uncomfortable. You kind of have to get used to them. And
not want to sit down.
No, you can sit down just fine in them. If they fit you correctly, you can sit down just fine. And they're not fully boned past your hips either. So I personally... I think that this era actually can be very flattering even on plus size figures, but it does take some getting used to because the skirts are so slim. So I would put this more into like I'd visit once personally.
I was debating between I'd visit once or not my cup of tea because it really isn't my cup of tea. Mm-hmm. I would visit it once, but no more than once. But let's
put this in I'd visit once then. I mean, I do think that there's a wide variety of styles that can be very gorgeous here, but it's hard to get used to when you're thinking of all of the previous styles.
Yeah, and I like the previous one so much. Mm-hmm. This one, I mean, it's just like, it just drops off the cliff.
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly fashion changed in this era, for sure. So our final era for this video is 1919. Basically, we're looking at like pretty much, not quite fully drop waist, but like mostly drop waist, kind of going into the 1920s here, because this is 1919. I don't like it.
It's funny because I've seen so many classic movies where they're showing the 1920s, and again, a plus size woman does not do well in those fashions, and on every movie, it really stands out how poorly they do in it. So I have to say that this to
me is better left in the past.
Better left in the past.
Yeah. It was not kind to plus size women in this era. It's
also not kind to big busted women.
That's true. Yeah. It wasn't kind to so many women.
Yeah. I would leave this in the past.
I'd leave this in the past.
Never look at it again.
Yeah. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, it was.
We took a whole journey through, gosh, what was that, 150 years or so?
Wow.
Yeah, of fashion. And it changed a lot.
It did.
I enjoyed looking at these with you though, because obviously I, as someone who has been studying all of this for years, I have a bias and I have kind of almost too much knowledge sometimes. But it's really fun looking at it through your eyes because you don't have that background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are some things that are definitely better left in the past, like those big mutton chop sleeves that I don't like so much.
I love them. So if you had to choose just one era, like of everything that we've seen today that was your absolute top.
Oh, the smaller bustle, whatever you call it, the bum roll bustle.
The natural form.
The natural form.
Natural
I thought
form.
the natural form, but there was one just before it.
Before
too.
that was the early bustle.
The early bustle or the natural form.
Well, which one? Number one.
Oh, just number one. I think I would go with natural form.
Natural form. Okay. Yeah.
As much as I like the one that just is the smaller bustle just before.
The early bustle.
Yeah. Yeah, but natural
The
form.
70s in general seem to be your favorite.
Yeah.
1870s.
Yeah.
I would go, I think, actually with the earlier 1870s, 1874-ish, the, first part of the bustle. But frankly, it is so closely followed for me by the 1830s.
No.
I love the 1830s. So on that note, since you reacted so viscerally to that, what is your least favorite?
The court gown.
English Regency court gown?
Yeah.
Same. Yeah. English Regency court gown, especially now having worn one, they're awful to wear. You can't put your arms anywhere.
Yeah.
Think about it. You have a shelf coming out right here. Your arms have to be up.
Well, that's the way I always felt with those peignets too.
No. Peignets are down here.
Oh.
You have plenty of room for your arms to go.
Oh,
you could
okay.
rest them on your peignets if you want to. These ones, you have to be up like this. They're awful.
Yeah. And they look ridiculous.
They look so ridiculous. Yeah. They're cumbersome. You can't fit through a doorway. Yeah. Definitely English Regency court gown, my least favorite as well.
Well, we agree on that one.
Yeah,
really.
But this was honestly really fun. I really enjoyed doing this with you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this video and getting to know my mom a little bit better and her tastes. I know you've only appeared as tiny cameos in past videos. She lives in California, so I don't get to see her a ton. But yeah, we should do more like this together. Or you should move up here where it's nicer and cheaper. So I would really love to know what you guys think of these various eras and how you would rank this. If I can figure out how to do it, I'm going to put a blank version of this list down below in the description that you can click a link to. I think there's a way for me to do that. So I'm going to attempt to do that and fill that out and share that on Instagram if you're over there and tag me in it because I would love to see what you guys think about all of these different eras as well. But this was really fun. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did like this video, please go ahead and click the thumbs up icon. And if you'd like to see more videos like this from me, please go ahead and click subscribe and the little bell icon to be notified every time I post a new video. I do post videos here on YouTube at least once a week, usually with sewing vlogs out on Tuesdays and sometimes with additional costuming or sewing related content out on Saturdays, but I post every day over on my Instagram, so please go follow me on Instagram. That's at Lady Rebecca Fashions. And if you'd like to help support all of the work that I do on this channel, I do have a link to my Patreon and my Ko-fi down in the description below, or you can send me a super thanks or join my YouTube channel memberships right here on YouTube below the video. I'd also like to give a special shout out to my Edwardian level patrons, Jean and Kim. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and my mom. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Happy sewing!